I'm Carter.
Key.
And me. Let me get some juice.
Cognac Conversations. The show we just come in. We talk about anything we want to talk about.
If you know, you
relevant entertainment.
Y'all see
music.
It's light.
And it's like popping, right? It's like popping. Okay, so we stepped it up. We got one more light, which is a good investment. And we're going to be bringing y'all some more material, like more often. We just came back from a vacation, so excuse us for missing last week. If you tuned in and didn't see a new episode. So, we're back now, though, and we'll get back on the schedule. Let's pull up a little something here. Pull me up a little something here. How about you? Say when. When you say when. Okay. Right. I mean, you know, that's your taste.
Oh, that's actually okay.
I ain't say when. Okay.
You know, y'all be saying I be pouring heavy-handed.
So this shirt that I'm wearing is actually from my first ever published book. It can be found on Amazon. It's called Pistols and Pain, Praying for Her Love by Maya White. Just type in Maya White on Amazon and check out my novels. I just quick little plug.
Published authors. Shameless plug. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's our channel. We can do whatever we want to do. So, let's hop right into this, man. Your favorite rapper.
The man I'm going to leave you for. When he realized it. He ain't realized it yet.
So anyways, DaBaby, man, a.k.a. Mr. Takes No L's. Once again, it's looking like he may be into some more legal trouble. Unfortunately, because of an overzealous valet attendant. So give me the rundown on the story.
Pretty much. DaBaby went to a hotel with his daughter, and the valet was being a fan and decided that he was going to record DaBaby with his kid. You know, I don't think it was much so of trying to get the recording of him and his kid as it was just trying to get DaBaby. And DaBaby kind of told him, you know, I'm with my kid, don't put that up, I'm trying to protect her. You know, you drop a location, they find us, my daughter is with me. You know, the valet, still did it at his own discretion. And DaBaby pretty much followed behind him, realized that he was putting the picture up on the internet, and he kind of politely sat him down and had to have a talk with him.
We're going to put the video in, the short version of the video.
Pretty much, that's what happened. And I don't feel, I'm going to just get my point of view on this now and get it over with. He wasn't wrong. He had the right to protect his daughter. He had the right to protect himself. The valet could have easily just let the man, you know, go to the room with his daughter, come back out, and then ask for a picture.
If he wanted
like that.
to.
If that's something DaBaby wanted to do, or if that's something that the valet wanted to do. I honestly feel as though at this point everybody's just trying to come for that man because he winning. When you winning, they gonna always want to see you lose. So.
Do we know this happened at? Was it?
No. In
Miami, LA, Houston?
I don't know, which is why that's a good thing that we don't know either.
Well, go ahead and give your opinion, Key. Well, you go ahead and give your opinion. I'm going to look it up real quick.
I feel the same way. He's trying to protect his daughter. He asked the guy, when the guy asked the first time, he was like, nah, man, because, you know, you putting information out there. So, dude went across the street. You ain't even on your job, doing your job. Okay. He went across the street, zoomed in, still took the video. Like, come on now. And then you trying to upload it to Snapchat and all this. Look, first and foremost, he's had his child with him. I can understand if it's just DaBaby with his crew or whatever, and you asking for a picture or a video. That's cool. But when you bring somebody's child into that, DaBaby main goal at that moment is to make sure his child is protected. Right. Therefore, you trying to get a picture or whatever. Once he said no, you should have left it as that, because his mindset is, I'm protecting my child. If you put the picture out there, you're going to put the location. These fans going to come out here trying to figure out where we at, this, that, and the third. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be issues. It's honestly messing with my child's security. So you shouldn't have put it out there. You shouldn't have did it. DaBaby was right in what he did. And like he said, y'all put out the information, the tape of him sitting the guy down. Y'all need to put out the other part of the tape of him explaining to this guy, no, please don't put this out here.
Right. My thing is, I hate the way that they're trying to paint this portrait of him.
Right.
And it's, it's TMZ, it's Entertainment Weekly, it's all these different media and social media outlets. They put up the portions of the videos where he is defending himself usually. And it looks skewed in a way that prosecutors and district attorneys and everything are going to start using these materials to try to, implicate him into crimes. Right. And the thing is, like you said, sure enough, he's a celebrity. But at the same time, if the man asks you not to take a video, that should be it.
Respect his wishes.
That should be. I mean, respect his wishes, man. Like at the end of the day, he still has. Excuse me. He still has a right to his privacy as well. Who knows what somebody might be going through, for that day. Maybe he lost a loved one. Maybe he's having some payment issues or something. Who knows what he may be going through. If he said, no, don't take the photo, don't take the video, then just don't do it, bro. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. People invade. And I understand that may be one of your favorite rappers and, he's the hottest person in the game right now. So that may be your only chance. But if he says no, then you just got to take the L. Like,
but I mean, if he's staying at the hotel, that wasn't going to be your first time seeing him.
Not to cut you off. It was Beverly Hills, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's staying, that wasn't going to be your first and your last time seeing him. You stand at a hotel, you valet, you work. You could have waited till he came back down and said, I know you said no earlier, if it's okay, if it's all right, can I get a picture or whatever? And he might have been able to say, okay, cool, since we leaving, we move to our next destination. But you just, the way you did it was just like, come on, bro.
He went the wrong way about it. And
come on, bro.
He got his issue.
He got sat down.
His baby sat him down in the corner like he was in timeout, fam. Like, that was hilarious, bro. Like, but for real, though, the hotel needs to put out the whole
don't put this
video.
Piece.
Don't just put out the piece where he's, having the confrontation at the end. That's not fair. And it's not responsible on their behalf. So moving along from one quote-unquote assault to another quote-unquote assault. After the championship game last Monday, Odell Beckham, whose alma mater won the championship, LSU Tigers. Boo, but, whatever. They won the championship, and he was celebrating with the guys. So out there on the field, he was giving a couple of them money. I think it was. I want to say that it was allegedly. Excuse me, allegedly.
Yeah, but we ain't trying to.
Allegedly giving them $100 bills, but we're gonna say that I think it was just for the guys who declaring. If I had to guess, but like I said, it's alleged. And the guys were some of the guys from the team were celebrating by smoking cigars. Which you're not supposed to do in the stadium, and there was one overzealous, once again, security guard.
Top flight security of the world.
Of the world. And he was in the locker room with the guys trying to shut them down and whatever, and they were hiding the cigars, allegedly. And while he was looking for whatever it is that he was looking for, Odell Beckham, as a video, he stepped back and kind of smacked him on the butt. I'm going to try to put that video in here, too, if I can find a reasonable size clip of it. And so now, what was it, like 3 days later? I believe it was Thursday. Yeah. The security guard decided that he wanted to press charges. And initially he tried to get him with some sort of sexual misconduct charges, which is like, come on, bro, like sexual misconduct. But it ended up being just a simple battery, which is the use of force against somebody without their consent or something like that. So, what do y'all think about that?
I call BS.
I do too.
It just is what it is. Dude probably having a bad day. He probably was already mad. You just never know what be going on in somebody's mind. And yeah, that was just. It ain't too much to speak on that. I pray that everything eventually gets dropped. And Odell can go about his business. And Odell, just keep your hands to yourself. You drunk.
Man, listen, that man has
have fun, do
he
your
has
thing.
good drink.
But just know that there can be repercussions to your actions. I understand you're in the mood of celebratory with your friends. That's great. That's good. Enjoy yourself, but just be careful because you just never know what's going on in somebody's mind. The dude might be out for some money or whatever the case is. You might have made him mad. You just never know. But I hope and pray that it all goes over smoothly. And he can walk away with this in a clean slate.
Yeah, I mean, I think, because they were talking to I was watching ESPN and they had legal analysts analyzing the situation, and he said that in the extreme case, he's looking at 6 months and maybe like $1,000 fine. But he doesn't think that it'll get that far because, as far as I know, unless it was something prior to college, Odell doesn't have a record. So, minimal, he probably end up slap on the wrist, maybe a couple of volunteer hours or something, if that. But I feel like it should be dismissed. I mean, it was a smack on the butt, bro. You in the locker room after a championship game. You better be glad they weren't pouring champagne on your head.
Right.
And doing all kind of, violate.
Other things.
Right. What you think, Key?
Yeah, I feel like it's money talk. And he probably just realized it. Maybe after seeing the video a couple of days later and a friend and family was like, oh, Dad, he jumped the butt. Jokingly, he was like, oh, really? And then he looked at the tape and like, oh, I'm going to press charges so I can get me some money real quick, a little small come up. Man, come on, you're in the locker room. First of all, you're in the locker room. It's after a championship game. So, of course, smacking on the butt, you lucky they had no towels. You lucky they didn't get no champagne. The whole room just getting sprayed. So, come on now. Sir.
It's not even that serious, bro.
Sir.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Just that.
Be done
Let
with
it go, man. I hope it don't go no further than this. Odell, keep your head up. Stay out of trouble, bro. But to move along, we're going to push the agenda a little bit here. Prince Harry, right? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have decided to renounce their throne. I tell you what, I'll let you give me the story on this a little bit better because
I don't really.
The recent details, just the recent details.
Pretty much, it's layman's term. Prince Harry don't want his wife to end up like his mother. I think they have trouble inside the royal family because of a number of issues. Meghan being the top, and Prince Harry loves his wife, and pretty much he's like, okay, my wife is a little uncomfortable. This is a little bit more hectic than what I signed up for. So to have peace with my family, to bring peace into my family, and to live a peaceful life, we're just gonna kind of detach ourselves from the royal family. I'm gonna move to Canada, and I'm gonna, move my wife and my son somewhere in peace. We are not going to rely on the finances. We're not going to rely on our titles. We're just Harry and Meghan. And I feel as though Prince Harry is receiving a lot of backlash. But quote unquote, according to the letters and the statements that's been put out from the family, from the Queen, and all of that, they're pretty much saying that they have come to a mutual agreement. I feel as though that's some BS. I don't think they really have come to a mutual agreement, but I feel like Prince Harry stands on everything he says. He's the army. He's not a vet. He's still in, right? If I'm not mistaken, he could be a vet. I'm not.
I don't know if he's active duty or not, so let's not even.
He was in it, right?
Yeah, I know he was in it, but
military.
I don't know if he's still currently active.
He's loved his wife, and I want to, like he was saying, it's been a number of years before Meg even came into the picture, to where it's just been so much going on. I think this was kind of like the last straw, and he want to be his own person, so. We welcome you.
In America.
We welcome you and your wife. Yeah, best wishes.
Right, what you got on the key? Nothing.
I mean, do it, but do whatever make y'all happy at the end of the day.
Happy wife, happy life.
Canada is known to be full of happy people. You know, they ain't cutting y'all from 400. So y'all Gucci. Enjoy y'all lives and stay safe.
Right. And Canada is much closer to England than America is. Than the United States is. Not necessarily geographically, but in terms of traditions and customs, they celebrate same holidays as the England does, and they celebrate the Queen's birthday and everything. So it's a lot more. It's a lot, like I said, closer to what he'll have at home than being in the United States. I believe personally that he's doing the right thing. If his wife isn't happy and he truly loves her, then you gotta go. You gotta make her happy. And for anybody that's questioning his moves, is they may be an old school way of thinking or whatever the case is, but clearly he's not worried about the money. I don't think money is going to be an issue for them,
right?
Because they can make money anywhere. All they got to do is open a business or something. I'm sure they have a plan.
Show their face card will get them whatever they want.
Right, I'm sure they have a plan. So I don't think the money is going to be an issue. The Queen has announced that they would no longer be using their royal titles, so His Highness and Her Highness will not be applied to their names anymore, which I don't think Harry cares about at this point. And I wish you guys the best of luck going forward for you and the baby and future kids and family members and all alike. So last but not least, last week Martin and Will Smith went on a press run for Bad Boys for Life, which is the third installment, and they may possibly have a fourth installment. Will said it's not out of the realm of possibility. He just want to see how this movie goes first. But during the interview, he had some pretty interesting points that he made, and I wanted to go over a couple of them with you guys and see what you think. First of all, there came a point in the interview where, we'll talk about that one last. Let's talk about the part with when they asked him about the iconic scene from Fresh Prince, when he was talking about where did he get the motivation from for that scene with him and James Avery when he was talking about his dad. He said that what happened was when he first came onto the set, everybody else was classically trained and he wasn't. And everybody else had experience, he had none. So James Avery was never happy with anything that he did, but it was only because he was trying to motivate him to get the very best out of everything. And so in that moment, the first time they did the take, he said he messed up, and he messed up in front of the crowd when that was his first chance to be serious, first chance to have a real acting moment, and it just got to him so bad that James told him to look at him and use him for motivation for that scene, as opposed to trying to find the motivation within himself. And when he did that, he looked at him and thought about all the times that he had disappointed him throughout the show, and used that motivation to say, why am I never good enough, or why is it that everything I do has to be such and such, just trying to motivate himself for that scene. And the rest was history, clearly. Because every time I see that scene, it's still, I get a little choked up. I'm not even going to lie, bro. Not even going to lie. So what do y'all think? Have y'all ever experienced anything like that where, you just feel like it's never enough, or regardless of what you do, it's always somebody that you're disappointing?
Yep.
I know for you, you mainly your worst critic. It's never enough for yourself. You?
I'm a G, man. And I was
really?
Just playing.
Really
yeah.
Thug.
Yeah, but I know there was a lot of rumors about that scene that he was talking about his own father and everything like that. So now the truth is out.
Right.
So
I mean, because as far as I know, his father was in his life.
yeah.
His father and his mother. So, I mean, we all have those moments of insecurity where, I mean, some people won't admit it, but everybody has those moments of insecurity where you feel like what you're doing is not enough. What you could be, I mean, you always questioning what you could be doing better or whatever. And he said also that he had to realize that no amount of money, no amount of sex, no amount of anything that's addictive is enough for you to outgrow your childhood trauma.
Right.
So he was spending a lot of time chasing accolades and chasing money and chasing just being number one to the point where it made him unhappy, even though he had all those things. And that, you know, celebrities are sometimes, and we know this, celebrities are sometimes some of the most miserable people, man. They just look like they have everything. And so from there, well, this was after, I mean, this was before, but he also touched on the fact that he was very insecure of the relationship that Jada had with Tupac, or should I say the friendship that they had, because they grew up together and they were just, in her eyes, Pac was the perfect person, perfect man, and he said that they had never had any type of sexual relationship, but by the time it got to the age where they could potentially be that, she was dating him. And he felt like he was insecure about it because this is Pac. Like, you know, Pac is larger than life, especially at the time. Mm-hmm. And he was just this little, you know, rapper from Philly, soft rapper from Philly is what he said. And he just felt like he was not enough at the time, and it wouldn't allow him to interact with Pac, even though they were in the same rooms together sometimes. And it just, that was one of his biggest regrets in life. What you think about that?
I don't know.
You don't think about it?
I mean, we all, in my mind, I always felt like Jada belonged with Tupac.
Well, she said that they were so much alike, and that she wished that he would have taken the time to get to know him, because they were just alike. And you know what? I heard something earlier this week that really bothered me, and I'm not gonna say the person's name, but it was a radio DJ here in Atlanta, a radio personality, here in Atlanta, that said that Jada ended up with the better man. And I'm like, why would you say that? Like, cause Pac got killed when he was in his 20s, bro. Like, everybody make mistakes in their 20s. You don't know what he would have turned out to be in his 40s and 50s. Mm-hmm. So who are you to say that she ended up with the better man?
Like I said, I always felt because they chemistry. I
right.
mean, who knows? They just probably just had that friendship. And I mean, that's a situation that we can't really speak on because we don't really know exactly what happened. Will Smith didn't really know him. The only person that really knew him was Jada. So that's just the end. I mean, in my opinion, that's just the end of that. I can't really speak on that. I always just, the way she always talk about Tupac is like, okay, Dad, you know you married. But whatever. That's just it. I can't speak on that. But yeah.
I mean, well, he went to a little further about that too, but we're going to save that for another time. What about you, Key?
About the same. I can't speak on it because.
Right. I mean, it was just big of him to even admit that because most men won't admit that they have a problem with their significant others having friends of the opposite sex. So that was a big step for him to even admit that, because we've all wondered it for years, and so he finally came out with it. But you know, he seems like he's in a better place now, mentally.
Him and Jada a couple ago.
Right.
Well, I love their relationship. How about that?
Right. Well, he spoke on the relationship that y'all love as opposed to the relationship that you have. So, it's a good listen. Y'all check it out, Breakfast Club, whatever, on their channel. But make sure you come back here. So that's it for this week. Anything else y'all want to say? Anything else you want to say?
Well, I hope you guys are starting to get into some of your goals that you set thus far for the year. Like he said before, we went on a little mini vacation. That was something that I said I wanted to do more of. So kind of started the year off a little crazy. Have an experience about that. We'll talk about that another time.
Right.
I just wish you guys love and light and prosperity. That's I don't really know. Normally we close out the show on like a brighter note, but that last situation.
Oh, first of all,
you know what? I want to bring up something, but go ahead.
No, first of all, you need to tell them about your channel. Tell them about your channel.
Oh, okay.
Subscribe to her other YouTube channel.
Yeah, do all that. My channel is about
you
me.
You gotta know the name of it.
It's She's Cabernet, the same Instagram and Twitter. Right. Just me doing stuff, doing challenges on Wednesdays. You know, get to know me. I'm a little bit excited, just a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of starting my second channel, my cooking channel. So be on the lookout for that.
And you may get a third channel, a mukbang.
What?
She said you may get a third channel. You heard what she said?
Oh,
okay, now what was the...
so another little topic. I'm sorry. I know we said we ain't going to make it long, but look, check it out, right? So, Jock was in the city.
Right. Oh, we forgot about that.
Jock in the city.
We forgot about that. So we just going to have to go over time. We just going to have to go over time.
Okay.
So we got to talk about that.
You going to run it up? Because
I run it up because I'm an Uber driver, so I don't mind.
You go ahead.
I do not mind. First of all, okay, so let me tell you what happened. Jock was recorded driving rideshare. It wasn't for Uber. People were saying Uber. No, it wasn't Lyft. It was actually a new app that's been around for just a few years. It's called Pull Up and Go. Okay. And he was saying that he was driving for them just to make a little extra cash while he's downtown when he get off the radio. And it was a good way for him to meet people and show responsibility to the kids when he goes to the Big Brother Big Sister program, which he's a big part of here in Atlanta. And he made a second follow-up video where he was talking to TMZ and he was explaining all these things. Now, mind you, the young lady and the man,
two gentlemen, I think.
Okay, well, the two people, the two people that were in the video that were recording him, I feel like, were being rude. I feel like they were being inconsiderate. I feel like they were being invasive. And I also feel like it was a marketing ploy on him. Because if I'm not mistaken, he has stock in this company. So what better way to market than to make a video like this? Now, I don't know if the two people that were in the video were in on the marketing portion of it. I don't think they were, but it's genius by Jock, because if you know Jock in Atlanta, he has like a troll kind of aura about him sometimes. He has a light sense of humor. I mean, a very light sense of humor, so he doesn't mind making a fool of himself for a better purpose. And for instance, in that second video, the person that he showed in the background that he said was riding with him on this pull up and go ride was actually Shawty, which is a comedian, and that was his co-host on his morning radio show. Now, Jock, I honestly don't think he needs to be doing rideshare. He has a radio show. He's on Love and Hip Hop. He still gets money from his music. He has a couple of he has at least one nightclub here.
Mm-hmm.
A hair salon, hair care products. I mean, come on, man, Jock. If you think honestly that Jock is falling off, I don't know what to tell you. What you think about that video?
It was promo.
It had to be.
Yeah.
Just
there
knowing
was no GPS in the car, no nothing like that. I feel like you knew those people.
Come on, man. We know how Jock moves. We've been seeing him for years now. So it's been over a decade that we've been seeing how he moves. And it just, nothing to me says that he's an actual rideshare driver.
I admire his hustle.
I admire his hustle if it is, but I also admire his hustle because that was definitely marketing. And you can't knock that.
And even if he wasn't marketing, I still admire his hustle for going to get.
He got to get out, man. Jock got like 10 kids, bro.
Right.
Like.
But he was saying that in that first original video, he was saying that as this is a way for me to meet people in the city, to network, to do things like that, and just make a little extra cash on the side. If it wasn't networking and he just putting time in on a business that he invested in,
I mean, if it wasn't networking, then who are you to try to shame him for?
You need the ride
for doing ride share when you don't have you clearly don't have a car because you up here doing ride share. Either you don't have money to pay for parking, which is not that expensive in Atlanta. But when you compare it to other places like L.A., New York, and New Orleans and places like that, it's not that expensive to park in Atlanta, bro. Like, it just bothers me because I'm an Uber driver myself, in my time away from doing this. So,
I love his hustle though.
Right. Shout out to Jock. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Yeah. We love your morning show on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't watch Love and Hip Hop because I don't watch reality TV personally, but yeah, I know you watch. Right. So, until next time, y'all go ahead and make sure you get that subscribe button. Hit the like. Hit the like button. Hit the bell beside the subscribe button so that you can get all the notifications. Thumbs up. Leave comments. Leave complaints if you have them. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to start making these episodes as a podcast as well. So if you don't want to watch the video, let me know. I'm going to put the links in the video so that you can listen to it as a podcast
while you working on the way to the job,
or at the gym, or wherever you happen to be, stuck in this Atlanta traffic. Right. Just so wherever you so happen to be. So until next time, you guys be safe out there. And peace.